So we have a loft, but no way to get up to this second floor. So what we need to do is to build a stair. Easiest way to build a stair would probably be, well, that's if you do not know how to, if you don't know what dimensions exactly to use. It is a 8-foot floor-to-floor height. So what you can do is to just say, hey, maybe we'll make it into 8 feet. So we'll do an 8 inch. We'll do an 8 inch. What is it? The riser. Okay, and we know that it's going to be a 3-foot 3-foot width, and it should be I believe a 10 inch 10 inch tread. Okay, so what that means is, I'll just do a quick example right here. If I do let's see, I said it's 10 comma, you guys don't have to do this because we'll do it a little bit different way. 10 by 3 foot, enter, and then the height would be 8 inches. Okay, that makes one step, right? So if I copy this, copy from that point to that point, it is basically making, whoops, I screwed up. Copy that from that point to that point to that point. It's making a step, right? Of course, if you look at this thing, it's not very structural. So what that means is that what I need to do is make this a little bit wider so that I could have the piece rest on it. So I don't want to do this. It's the right concept, but maybe the wrong dimensions. So instead, why don't we all make a piece, a box, and do a piece that is relative coordinate at, let's make it 20 inches, comma 3 feet, enter. And then hit the 8 inch height. And that'll make this little piece right here. I move it over so that when I do the side views, it won't get into the way, okay? So that is one step. So now I'm going to copy this. Copy, select the object from the front lower corner to the midpoint. So MID, which is this little guy right here on the O-snap. If I had selected the midpoint, I wouldn't have to worry about it, but I could always type it in up here to make sure that it's going to go to the midpoint. And if I hit, I should take the ortho off and hit the midpoint, enter. It's going to find the midpoint of that line right over there. Okay? It could find the midpoint of this line or this line. It is going to go to a midpoint of something, right? But I want the midpoint from the bottom, or if I want to change, move this thing or copy this thing from that front corner to the midpoint of that line right there. And if I did that, there I have the next steps. I could do the same, midpoint to there, and keep going up. Okay, so that's how I can make this thing and copy it. Or so how many steps do we need? This is 8 inches, and we have 8 foot floor to floor height. So if I have 8 inch steps and there is 8 foot up, I should be able to multiply this by 12. All right, so all I really need is 12 of these steps up. So I could copy this let's just say copy, select that, and select that, and I could go from the endpoint to the endpoint and keep going, and that should get me, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oops, one too many. Okay, so there I have a 12 step program. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to move this guy into place. So if I well, actually before I move it, I am going to Boolean union this thing. Okay, there is an option to select it and group, and that'll when you select that, it selects this as one unit stuff. However, that gives a little bit of trouble for the few other steps that we're going to do. So instead of group, we're going to do something else. So I'm going to ungroup this and make it just one unit again. The thing is, sometimes a group help if you're not sure of putting everything together, where they are and all that. If you group it all together, you can move everything at once, and it works fine. Don't forget to edit it later. Instead, since this is what I want to do, I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to Boolean union this piece. Okay, so it was just like how we made the windows, except in reverse. Instead of subtracting it by difference, we're going to union the thing. So once we do that, that is one object now. Okay, and all of these ugly lines we could get rid of. Okay, but we'll get rid of that later. So if I take this piece and say move from that top corner, make sure that you're not selecting anything else, and then bring it into there, I should have the correct spacing. Oh, one other thing. I could always, if all these stuff gets in the way, I can always select it and then hide, so that I could isolate all that stuff. And then I can move this thing from that corner and move it to that edge right there, and that should give me the correct stair spacing. Okay, so if I want that stuff, if I want the shell back, I'll say show. Okay, and there I have the stairs right in the spot. Okay,